Alright folks, let's talk tariffs. Tariffs are one of those economic tools that can seem a bit mysterious, but they have a huge impact on our daily lives. In the simplest terms, a tariff is like a border tax. When goods cross from one country into another, the government of the importing country can impose a fee on those goods. Imagine a government slapping an extra charge on goods coming in from another country. This charge can vary depending on the type of goods and the country of origin. That, my friends, is a tariff in all its glory, designed to make foreign goods more expensive. The idea is to make imported goods less attractive compared to locally produced items. Now, why would a country do this, you ask? Well, there are several reasons. Well, the usual suspects are at play: protecting domestic industries. By making foreign goods more expensive, local businesses get a better chance to compete. Another reason is to punish other countries for not playing by the rules. If a country is dumping cheap goods into the market or violating trade agreements, tariffs can be a form of retaliation, or trying to reduce a trade deficit. When a country imports more than it exports, it can lead to economic imbalances. Tariffs can be used to encourage consumers to buy domestic products. But here's the kicker: tariffs rarely work as intended and often backfire spectacularly. Instead of protecting local jobs, they can lead to higher prices for consumers and strained international relations. In some cases, other countries retaliate with their own tariffs, leading to a trade war. This can escalate quickly, affecting global supply chains and causing economic uncertainty. Small businesses often suffer the most, as they can't easily absorb the increased costs. Consumers end up paying more for everyday items, from groceries to electronics. Economists often debate the effectiveness of tariffs, with many arguing that they do more harm than good. Governments must carefully consider the potential repercussions before implementing such measures. In our interconnected world, the impact of tariffs extends far beyond national borders. They can disrupt global trade routes and affect markets worldwide. Ultimately, the goal should be to foster international cooperation and fair trade practices, ensuring that all countries can benefit from the global economy. Here's the real kicker about tariffs: they're not paid by the exporting country, as some politicians might have you believe. Nope, the burden falls squarely on the shoulders of importers, those businesses bringing in goods from overseas. Imagine you're a company importing those trendy sneakers everyone's raving about. With a tariff in place, you suddenly have to cough up extra cash to get those sneakers through customs. Not exactly ideal, right? Now, those poor importers aren't going to just absorb those extra costs out of the goodness of their hearts. They're running a business after all. So, what do? They pass those costs right along to you, the consumer. Suddenly, those must-have sneakers are significantly more expensive. And it's not just sneakers. Tariffs can impact a whole range of goods, from electronics to clothing to groceries. Your wallet feels the pinch, and you might think twice about that new purchase. Section 4, the U.S. China Trade War, a case study in tariff troubles. Remember the U.S. China Trade War a few years back? Well, that was a masterclass in how tariffs can backfire. Both countries slapped tariffs on billions of dollars worth of each other's goods, and the results were about as predictable as a reality TV show romance. American businesses and consumers faced higher prices on everything from washing machines to soybeans. Meanwhile, Chinese businesses struggled to find buyers for their goods, and the Chinese economy took a hit. Section 5. The ripple effect. When tariffs rock the boat, tariffs, those taxes imposed on imported goods, can have far-reaching consequences that extend well beyond the initial impact. They are often used as a tool to protect domestic industries, but the effects can be much more complex and widespread. The pain of tariffs doesn't stop there, folks. For businesses, especially small ones, the increased costs of imported materials can be crippling. Imagine a small business owner who relies on imported parts to manufacture their products. Suddenly, those parts become significantly more expensive, squeezing their profit margins and making it harder to stay afloat. It's like throwing a rock into a pond. The ripples just keep spreading. The initial splash might seem manageable, but the ripples can reach far and wide, affecting various aspects of the economy. The increased costs for businesses can lead to higher prices for consumers, creating a chain reaction that impacts everyone. When businesses face higher costs, they might have to cut back on investment or even lay off workers. This can lead to a decrease in productivity and innovation as companies struggle to balance their budgets. The loss of jobs can have a devastating effect on communities, leading to higher unemployment rates and reduced economic activity. Consumers, feeling the pinch in their wallets, might cut back on spending, which can slow down the entire economy. When people have less disposable income, they tend to spend less on non-essential items, leading to a decrease in demand for goods and services. This can result in a vicious cycle of reduced spending and economic stagnation. And let's not forget about the potential for retaliation. One country's tariffs can easily trigger a tit-for-tat trade war, hurting everyone involved. Countries may respond with their own tariffs, leading to a downward spiral of increased costs and reduced trade. This can strain international relations and create uncertainty in the global market, making it difficult for businesses to plan for the future. Section 6. The illusion of winning: why tariff wars are a lose-lose. The truth is, there are no winners in a tariff war. It's like two kids fighting over a toy. Both end up bruised and unhappy, and the toy often ends up broken. Sure, some domestic industries might benefit in the short term, but the long-term costs far outweigh any perceived gains. Tariffs distort markets, stifle innovation, and ultimately harm the very people they're supposed to help. They're a blunt instrument that creates more problems than they solve. Section 7. Finding a better way: trade, not tariff warfare. So, what's the alternative? Well, instead of resorting to tariffs, countries need to engage in open and fair trade practices. Tariffs often lead to trade wars, which can harm economies and strain international relations. Instead, nations should focus on creating a level playing field where businesses can compete fairly and consumers can benefit from a wider range of products at better prices. That means negotiating trade deals that benefit everyone, not just a select few. Inclusive trade agreements can help smaller economies grow and provide opportunities for businesses of all sizes. By working together, countries can create a more stable and prosperous global economy. It means addressing legitimate concerns about unfair trade practices through dialogue and cooperation. This involves setting up mechanisms to resolve disputes and ensuring that all parties adhere to agreed-upon rules. Transparency and accountability are key to building trust and fostering long-term partnerships. Trade, when done right, can be a powerful engine for economic growth and prosperity. It can drive innovation, create jobs, and improve living standards. By removing barriers and encouraging competition, trade can help economies become more efficient and resilient. It's time to ditch the tariffs and embrace a future where everyone benefits from the free flow of goods and services. By promoting open markets and fair competition, we can build a more interconnected and prosperous world. Let's work together to create a global trade system that is fair, transparent, and beneficial for all.